has come before. Sharon connected me with the Seeds for Progress work in Nicaragua initially through a chapter from our edited volume, and Sharon was the associate editor of the Latin American part of that set of books, and Seeds was featured in there. And Sharon subsequently connected me with this group to take a possibility development lens on their work. And from my perspective, it's among the most exciting possibility development work I've seen to date because of all the progress made in that work with early guidance from Sharon, and then having the privilege to come in and lend some of my insights to it and bring our research team to bear upon it really opens up an opportunity for us to take possibility development work to another level. So without further ado, I'll hand it off to Dr. Ravitch, who will tell us about that project and lead us into the presentation. Thank you, Sharon.
You are most welcome. Thank you, Dr. Nuckola, and welcome everyone. So happy to see you. As Dr. Nuckola mentioned, I have been working with the Seeds for Progress Foundation for actually almost 12 years, which is just wild. And it's been really an honor and a delight to partner with Seeds and with the individuals in Seeds. Seeds for Progress is based in Nicaragua. It's a nonprofit organization that is aimed at increasing the quality of education in rural communities in the coffee growing regions of Nicaragua and now Guatemala as well, benefiting over 5,800 children and youth and over 3,000 families. It has started from a project that was part of a corporate social responsibility division of a large agricultural and coffee export company, which the group will talk about. And it's grown to a foundation that has not only impact across Nicaraguan schools, but in Guatemala as well. And so it's been just an honor and really an important part of my own development to learn about how do you scale something with the tremendous power and relational quality and criticality of the programs that Seeds for Progress runs without losing the true possibility which lies in relationships. So with that, I am delighted to turn this over to Alejandra Rodrigues, who is the Marketing and Development Manager for Seeds for Progress. And I just want to thank you for sharing your wisdom with us today.
Thank you so much, Sharon, and all of the PEN team connected here for us to be able to share some of the work that we have been doing. And like you mentioned, Sharon, it's been 12 years of partnership that we have with PEN. So these great results are also a shared experience. So joining me today is also Marta Alicia. She's our project manager, and she has over 20 years of experience in education. She has a PhD in education, and she will be presenting also a little bit of the model with the support from Sasha, who will be helping us in the translation. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview about Seeds for Progress. Like Sharon mentioned, we are a nonprofit organization working to improve the quality of education in the coffee communities of Nicaragua and Guatemala. However, we're not only looking to support the education aspect, but we really are working on developing and improving the quality of life through social development and sustainable economic growth. Right now, we started the programs, and we are in Nicaragua in 24 schools in all of the coffee regions, these are the 5 coffee regions in Nicaragua. And we benefit almost 5,000 students directly in Nicaragua and work also very closely and directly with over 270 teachers. And most recently, we have been expanding and replicating the programs in Guatemala. In Guatemala, we are in 2 coffee regions, Palencia and Jalapa, and we're working there with 4 schools with 180 students and 5 teachers. And just to give you an overview of the work that we do at Seeds for Progress, we're basically working in 5 programs that start from early childhood education through elementary. Then we have our Seeds to Lead Coffee School program, which is the one I'm going to focus on today. And then we also have some technical programs that are Seeds to Leaf, and an education and childcare during the harvest, which is our cultivating education program. And in everything that we do, we incorporate technology, infrastructure improvement. We have a mentors network that has also been supported, the structure with the support from Penn. And of course, monitoring and evaluation has been vital throughout all of the years to measure the programs and to really make impact that is long lasting. So this is just the overview of the programs, and I'm going to focus on our Seeds to Lead program, which is the one that's really connected to the 5 possibility development model. So basically, we started this program as a way to connect the youth in the coffee communities from an early age, starting from 4th grade all the way to 11th grade, which is the last year of high school, in ways that they can incorporate coffee into their school curriculum and learn not only about coffee, but the context and the realities that surround them, so that they can develop not only personal and family and social skills, but also, and most importantly, work-related skills that they can take on within their communities. So we're basically partnering with organizations in the coffee industry and also with academia such as Penn to really focus on a methodology that uses the principles of active school methodology and also the 5-step possibility development model to prepare these children and the youth, to prepare them for life. And an overview of what we have been doing for the past 2 years, we have basically started a team that includes 2 full-time education specialists and 2 full-time agronomists and other members of the staff that have worked on developing the content, the design, the layout of the textbooks, and all of the teacher training for the first phase of the program. So all of last year, even during the pandemic, we were able to have all of this content adapted to Nicaragua, and this was adapted, and here you see the partnerships that we have from the FNC. So the FNC has developed a program called Escuela y Café that really focuses on creating this life skills and work skills for the community youth. But what we have done is that we have really adapted the content to the Nicaraguan context, and that has required all of our teams to go into the realities and the even the coffee context of Nicaragua and adapt that to so that it's a real, so that then the model works and is applicable for the youth in Nicaragua. So we have that main partnership with the FNC, and we did that all of last year through virtual learning, through be-learning methodology. And we were able to complete the first phase of the teacher training and the content development. And for this year, we have been doing the validation in 11 schools and coffee communities that will benefit over 2,000 students. We're working directly for this methodology with 140 teachers. And this is part where the Penn GSC group will also be validating this process with us and using the 5-step possibility development model. And in a bit, we'll explain how we're going to do that. And then further on from 2022 on, we're working on the expansion of this program to other coffee regions in Nicaragua and also implementing this for Guatemala. And another important alliance that we have is with the Ministry of Education. So that means that the validation that we're doing in the 11 schools in Nicaragua, we're officially doing as part of the curriculum of the school. And this allows us that if this proves to be successful, which that's what we aim for, this can be adopted to all of the schools in the coffee regions at a national level. So right now I'm going to introduce Marta Alicia, who will talk a little about how the methodology is put in place for this program. So Marta Alicia.
Okay, thank you, Alejandra. Sasha, I need you.
Yeah, here, aquí estoy.
Proyectos pedagógicos productivos es la estrategia que nosotros diseñamos para llevar el emprendimiento y la metodología a la escuela.
So using pedagogical productive projects, this is the main methodology that we use to bring the school and cultivating it between the school and the community.
La idea es que los estudiantes en la escuela puedan desarrollar habilidades de emprendimiento y competencias que luego les sirvan en la vida, con su familia y la comunidad.
The main goal is for students to cultivate an environmental project that will allow them to build entrepreneurship skills that they can then apply to their communities, their families, and their futures beyond.
Como estas comunidades son cafetaleras, esa es la mayor oportunidad que tienen de emprender en la zona, ¿verdad? En la localidad.
Because the nature of the communities that we work with is situated in the coffee farming industry, that is the main vehicle that we use to build the foundation for these pedagogical projects.
Y la caficultura ofrece oportunidades si los estudiantes hacen cambios que apunten a sostenibilidad, cambio climático y el empoderamiento cultural, ¿verdad? De sus comunidades para los jóvenes.
Coffee farming allows students to be able to cultivate an understanding of the business, especially to develop entrepreneur skills and to continue to develop those skills. And if they choose to change routes, they can continue to implement those skills in other areas that will benefit their community and families.
Entonces hemos diseñado un material que le permita a los jóvenes conectar lo que aprenden en la escuela y llevarlo a la práctica luego en la comunidad desde 4º grado de primaria hasta 5º año de secundaria.
We have designed a pedagogical productive curriculum that starts in the 4th grade and continues with the students throughout their education and into high school, and hopefully can be sustained beyond graduation if they choose that path.
En los primeros 3 grados en primaria, ¿verdad? Que es de 4º a 6º, los jóvenes van aprendiendo habilidades sobre la planeación de su proyecto de vida, como crear una meta, como ilusionarse incluso con un proyecto de vida, y van aprendiendo los primeros pasos.
In the first step, which happens in 4th to 6th grade, the students learn about what it takes to build a goal, to get excited about cultivating an environmental project and what that entails. And we walk through the students through the processes of making a goal and what action steps they need to take.
Como todavía son niños, entonces buscamos ideas de proyectos culturales o medioambientales para conquistarlos, para que se vayan apasionando con la idea.
Because these are still younger children, we try to focus the projects on things that would interest these students, typically around cultural projects or personal interests, but we really want them to develop a passion for this project.
Luego en la secundaria, en los primeros 3 grados de 7º a 9º, van estructurando un proyecto más formal. Ya hacen plan, ya hacen el objetivo, la meta, indicadores de medición y análisis de su contexto rural.
Once the students reach 7th through 9th grade, we enter the 2nd phase of their productive project, which emphasizes this idea on developing a plan, developing different steps that they have to complete, developing how they will assess if their plan is working, and trying to allow the students to formalize the plan from their elementary age into the 7th and 9th grade.
Pero también con la familia van haciendo un análisis del contexto y van haciendo ensayo de su proyecto. No solamente lo tienen escrito, sino que ya lo ponen en práctica y se asocian con la familia o con otro productor en la comunidad para llevarlo a la práctica.
During this phase, we also encourage students to not keep the project at just a paper level or a planning level, but also to implement it practically by including their family, practicing their project, sharing their project with their family, incorporating the coffee farming business, and allowing their family to also implement feedback to their project.
Ese momento es súper importante porque el niño lleva habilidades de la escuela y la familia tiene conocimiento cultural de la caficultura y ahí se unen para hacer cambios en la forma de producir y de crear oportunidades para todos.
This is a really important step because it combines the knowledge that the students are gaining at school, their academic knowledge, with the cultural knowledge that their family brings, and it enhances the production of their project by combining those two worlds and allowing them to implement parts from each.
Entonces, esta etapa es muy importante para pasar al 10º y 11º grado, porque aquí el proyecto ya está ensayado, ya los jóvenes saben qué posibilidades de mercado tiene y entonces lo convierten en un plan de negocio.
This is a really critical step in the 7th to 9th grade for the students, as they are able to not only practice their project, but also receive the feedback that they need to make their project into a reality, so that when they go into the next phase, they can take their entrepreneurship skills to a new level by implementing the different cultural feedback or the feedback on the coffee farming industry that their family has provided.
En el 10º grado se convierte en un plan de negocio y en el 11º grado ya es una idea de negocio que la pueden presentar a una institución financiera, a un banco o a una cooperativa local para que les apoye con financiamiento.
During the next phase, their productive project then transforms into a business idea. And this business idea is meant to enhance their entrepreneur skills and also allow the students to be able to take their business idea and present it to a local bank, to a nonprofit, to a cooperative, to different areas that they would like to see their business flourish in.
Uh-huh. Son pocos los estudiantes que deciden ir a la universidad porque no hay universidades locales accesibles, pero los que lo quieren hacer también pueden incluir el plan de ir a la universidad como parte de su proyecto de vida.
Not many students choose to go to college only because it's not central to the community in Nicaragua, it's not near, but if they would like, the students can also include in their productive project a goal to go to college, and that can be embedded within their business idea and plan.
Uh-huh. La mayoría, que es la que se queda en la comunidad, tiene la posibilidad entonces de emprender y con este proyecto y continuarlo después que egresa. Y ahí es donde nosotros creemos que ya tienen las competencias desarrolladas que los papás no podían tener para poder desarrollar la caficultura y la comunidad.
Since most of the students decide to stay local within their communities, they also decide to implement their business plan or their business idea within the local community and enhance their entrepreneurship skills by allowing them to start an offshoot of a coffee farming industry or a community, given the feedback that they've received from their parents, and allowing them to take that a step further with their academics and the supports that the pedagogical project has provided for them.
Uh-huh. Entonces, de esta manera es que nosotros trabajamos un concepto que le llamamos empalme generacional de conocimiento, que permite que el joven lleve nuevas prácticas, pero que no tenga que sustituir al papá en lo que hace en la comunidad, sino que se junten y se enriquezcan con el conocimiento de ambas generaciones.
This is what we call an idea of generational splicing, or this idea that we can enhance the opportunities from the family and the student to produce a business idea or a business plan that will take it on to develop different competencies that they so choose, and will give mutual benefits to the family, the coffee industry, and the student.
Podemos ver en la siguiente diapositiva el material que es el que hemos diseñado para trabajar con los jóvenes.
In the next slide, we will see an example of the different curriculum material that we use from 4th to 11th grade to work with the students.
Dejo a Alejandra entonces. Sí. Ese es más o menos el diseño del material, sí.
And this is just a small example of one of the workbooks that we use for the students.
Thank you, Marta Alicia and Sasha. As you can see, you know, the work really has a goal and a purpose, and it's all surrounded, you know, leading to entrepreneurial projects. And you can see, you know, through the workbooks that our team developed, we in total did over 78 guides and registration guides that support the student along the way in order for them to develop their life projects and their business plans eventually that turn, you know, their possibilities into a reality. So another aspect that I wanted to emphasize today was the relationship that we have had with Penn GSC over the past 12 years. And just, emphasize the four main, you know, areas that we have been working together in partnerships. And the first one has been the evaluation and development of the program's monitoring and evaluation system. And this started early on with programs that were, you know, that were focused on elementary, specifically from 1st to 3rd grade, using technology, which was what we used to refer to as the Digital Seats program. And that's where, you know, Sharon and her team were involved since the beginning. Then we have also included pedagogical research and development support related to indicators and instruments. So through the partnership, we have really learned, you know, how to evaluate the process, how to work with the teachers in a way that's participatory and that includes everyone in the community and the school. So this has been, you know, for us, really interesting and important to learn as a process in how to work with the communities and with our you know, participants in a way that we are all learning from the process and measuring the impact. Then we're also, you know, have learned and worked along, you know, planning, designing, and implementing a framework for understanding, you know, the coffee community schools. And that is something that we adapt and implement in all of our programs. And most recently, over the past 2 years, working with Dr. Nakala and his team, we have now implemented the 5-step possibility development model into our Seeds to Lead program in coffee communities as a way to, you know, emphasize, the opportunities that the youth have in these communities. And to further explain this point, I will let Sasha talk about the role that Penn GSC is currently having in our model.
Great, thank you so much, Alejandra. So just to build on the foundation that was presented by the Seeds team, Professor Nakala and his team at Penn GSC, they're studying and providing programmatic feedback on the coffee farm schools based on the possibility development model. So this uses the 5-step possibility development model that includes exploring interests, prioritizing interests, planning, taking action, and assessment. And within each of these steps, I can kind of break down some of the questions that we will be asking. So exploring interests just examines what educational interests are being explored by the community school leaders and curriculum planners, specifically what student, family, and community interests are being served by the model, and what interests are the students pursuing as they participate in this new form of education. For step 2, during the prioritizing interests phase, We ask about what interests have the school leaders prioritized as they carry out their educational work, and what interests have become prioritized among the students as they move through this educational process. For the third planning step, we ask about educational plans and which ones have been created, which ones have been prioritized, how these plans are linked with the priorities, and how the students develop their own pursuing their own interests and possibilities as they move through the model that's been described by Marta Alicia and Alejandra. The fourth step is taking action. So here we talk about what actions have the school leaders taken to pursue their priorities, and what are they planning to pursue next, and what actions the students have taken to explore their interests and possibilities. And the last step is the assessment piece, which is how the schools are doing in relation to their priorities and the action plans that they've set forth, and how the students are doing relative to their priorities and their emerging action plans. So basically, in summary, we want to know if the students are succeeding in pursuing their possibility projects in a way that matters most to them. Some of the implications of this is that SEEDS represents an advanced possibility development project and the study because they have already accomplished a great deal from the ground up. They have created an educational model for the coffee farming communities that opens up new possibilities for students and for their families. As we follow the schools and their students, we will learn more about their possibilities and see how they become realities. Will the students become more productive and environmentally successful farmers? Will they serve their families and communities in other ways? What will those ways look like? And will they have gone outside of their communities to play a part in the larger world? These are some of the critical questions that Dr. Nuckola and his team will be asking, and can only be answered through sustained longitudinal research. And the Penn team is honored to be part of this work. So we really thank you very much for this Seeds for Progress. And now I think we would like to conclude with a video that illustrates how this possibility model is enhanced in a student's life.
Thank you so much, Sasha. And yes, and thank you to all for joining us and being part of this. So I will share this story that's very powerful and also represents, you know, the possibilities of a young man and how he was able to, you know, really accomplish great things through his path and through the support of you know, Seeds for Progress.
El café siempre ha sido parte de mi vida, y ahora que estoy aquí aprendiendo sobre él, siento que todo ha sido un sueño. Mi nombre es Norlan Altamirano. Nací en las montañas de Nicaragua, en una pequeña comunidad cafetalera llamada El Yankee. Crecí con pocas cosas materiales y en cierta forma aislado del mundo. La electricidad llegó por primera vez a mi comunidad hace apenas 4 años. Mis padres no tuvieron la oportunidad de estudiar. Me crié en medio de cafetales. Si de niño alguien me hubiera dicho lo que alcanzaría en el futuro, difícilmente lo hubiera creído. Una maestría en ciencia y economía del café en Italia, ¡wow! Recuerdo a los 6 años visitar una escuela por primera vez. Me emocionó muchísimo ver a tantos niños aprendiendo. Tiempo después, Semillas para el Progreso construyó una escuela a 6 kilómetros de mi comunidad. Durante los siguientes 5 años, recorrí esos 6 kilómetros a pie. Tengo muy presente ese recorrido. Terminé la primaria a los 12 años con muchas ganas de continuar estudiando, pero sin saber cómo. Un día me avisaron que la Fundación Semillas para el Progreso había decidido apadrinarme, cubrir con los gastos de mis estudios. Recuerdo cuando me dieron la noticia. Me llené de emoción y de nervios. Contra todo pronóstico, me convertí en el primero de mi familia en terminar la escuela. La educación me ha abierto caminos realmente sorprendentes. En mi tiempo en Italia jamás olvidé de dónde vengo. Una vez en el salón de clases nos mostraron las zonas cafetaleras de Nicaragua. Me emocioné tanto y pensé, yo soy de ese lugar. E inmediatamente recordé las manos de mi familia trabajando la tierra. Mi regreso a casa es abrazar a mi madre y darle las gracias por tanto sacrificio. Es aportar una semilla para el futuro de otros jóvenes. Hay tantos niños que, como yo, necesitan una oportunidad. Si pudiera regresar el tiempo hacia atrás, me diría, Norland, sigue leyendo en la oscuridad. La luz está por llegar.
Thank you, and we look forward to continue developing possibilities for the youth.